All right, guys, how's it going? So, I've not left for the airport yet. I'll be going soon. I wanted to squeeze this one in. That's what she said. It's not an exclusive, so I can't give you an exclusive. But it's something we can chew over. Right, listen. It's on a website called Anfield Watch. We're watching, all right. And the headline is Liverpool forward prepared to force, in capital letters, €80 million Barcelona transfer. Now, this article is about Luis Diaz, to be honest with you. I can't read it all to you. You're not allowed to, but you can review. And it talks about Liverpool could see several forwards leave this summer. Nunes, Jota, all right. I'm trying to scroll all the adverts. Remember, guys, the more adverts, the more bullshit, all right? Mo Salah still hasn't put a pen to paper. Chiesa could be moved on, blah, blah, blah. Luis Diaz is another who has been tipped for a summer departure, right? Now, Diaz ready to, capital letters again, force Barca move. The Colombian international has been reported to be unhappy at his current salary. I'm not sure I've seen that reported in the mainstream media. I've seen fans talking about that and Twitter twats. His contract expires 2027. It says here, club bosses could be forced to cash in rather than lose the 28-year-old on a free transfer. If you follow my daily reviews that I do on here, usually, won't be doing well. I'm not doing one today because I'm going away, but I did check the papers anyway. There's nothing in the Spanish papers. But you will know that there's been a lot of reports about Luis Diaz, and I've given you, running commentary of what's being claimed in that region in Spain from more credible outlets and publications. And you will also know, if you follow my content, that Barcelona have lost their 1-1 financial rule, right? So before, they could spend €1, but for every euro they spent, they had to make €1. So 60, 70 million euros on a player they're going to spend, and they have to get 60 or 70 million euros back on a player, right? And the contract, if that's 10 million euros, it's the same principle. But they've lost that due to new financial problems at the club, right? And again, I'm not going to go into that now because I've told you about it all before. And what it basically means is that Barcelona are now on what's called a 1-4 rule in Spain, which is to do with revenue, right? So like 40% now. Before they could spend, 60, 70 million euros, and as long as they got that 60, 70 million euros in. Now, if they wanted to fund a move for Luis Diaz, and they wanted to spend, say, that sort of money, 60, 70 million euros, let's say 60, Barcelona would have to generate €175 million euros in. All right, so that's how things have changed in a few weeks. So from being like, well, we can sell some players, we can get 60, 70 in. Now, for Luis Diaz, to make Luis Diaz happen, assuming that would be the valuation, they would have to generate €175 million approximately to be able to conclude that deal, unless their financial situation changes, before the transfer window and they're back to 1-1. We'll talk about that more in other videos relating to Diaz in the future, I'm sure. So they say, Anfield Watch, that there's been long-standing reports of Barcelona's interest. This is true. Although a few weeks ago, it appeared Hansi Flick's side had resolved to move on. Not true. That has not been reported by anyone credible in Spain. That's because they reckoned Diaz was too old and were instead reported to pursuing younger targets. Not true. See, anyone can say reported, but it's who reported it. You know what I'm saying? But now comes a report from Carpetas Blaugranas, is what they're saying, which states that Diaz remains sporting director Deco's dream signing for the summer. Deco's wanted him for a long time. The internal situation at Barcelona is that there'd been a little bit, difference between the president and the sporting director. It's the sporting director, Deco, that's always wanted him. And as you know, if you follow my content, Luis Diaz wants to go to Barcelona. But this website here, Carpetas Blaugranas, is a fan site. So that's no different to reading Anfield Watch, although I would argue that the, Carpetas Blaugranas is probably a genuine fan site, But again, you don't know. But it's not something you would pay attention to, but they're giving it more weight by saying reports from Spain. And if you don't know all these things, you're going to go, oh, right, okay. I can tell you now that you shouldn't pay attention. They also say in, not bold, what's it called? Yeah, bold. I was going to say capitals, bold. Bold fonts, bold text. Arsenal also in Diaz chase. Complicating factors include Liverpool's €80 million valuation and Barca's precarious finances. I've not heard an €80 million valuation recently. But one point in their favour is that Diaz is said to be ready to force through a move. I think he'd force through a move to Barcelona, but not Arsenal. The player would be delighted to come, the report states. From England, they assured that Luis Diaz views the possibility of signing for Barca this summer very favourably. Additionally, the forward would be willing to pressure his club to facilitate the operation, which would be a key point in negotiations. I do think he would say. When when you use words like force, player, fans get very touchy about that. You're going to force a move, you fuck it. You know what I mean? So I think that's just more of, I think Luis Diaz said, look, this is a dream move for me and my family. And I think Liverpool were up for selling him and are probably hoping that Barcelona's situation is resolved very quickly, because I think that they were counting on that money in the forthcoming transfer window for Liverpool. Also in the picture for Diaz's signature, according to the Catalan publication, you see, if I was writing that article for Cop Talk, I would say Catalan fans site, because I think it weakens things a little bit. Our Arsenal, and then it just tells you what his stats are and whatnot. So basically, Liverpool forward prepared to force €80 million Barcelona transfer. That can't happen, even if it was true, because Barcelona can't do anything at the moment. They just can't. And €80 million would be even more money that they would have to generate. So I can assure you that I will keep you updated on here with regards to Luis Diaz. If anything changes on Barcelona's financial front, I would absolutely record a video to tell you, hey, Luis Diaz might get his move now. So make sure you are subscribed and keep an eye out for the topics that include you. And don't forget, I've also got a YouTube channel now that's dedicated to Spanish football, which is Golazo España. It'll pop up on the screen at the end, or it should, and there is a link in the video description. So if you're hearing that Luis Diaz might force through a move, he can't force through fucking nothing right now. So it's complete nonsense. They're relying on weak, publications or whatever. And I can assure you that the people that you would listen to with regards Barcelona's situation and interest in Luis Diaz has not changed, other than, yes, they want him, but they cannot finance a deal at the moment. Okay, guys, I really must go. I'm leaving in half an hour. My morning briefings are on my other YouTube channel now, at Duncan Oldham. Again, that should pop up on the screen. It'll be in the video description. You can follow me on Instagram and X at Duncan Oldham. You'll see what I'm up to over the next 2 weeks. I'm not going on holiday. I work every day when I'm away. But as I'm traveling today, I'm going to be traveling a bit next week. Then I might drop out a little bit. All right. So, but I'll be well. I'll still be around, okay? If you appreciate the video or enjoyed the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a coffee, it's an airport coffee today, just saying. You can hit the super thanks button, which is the love heart under the video. It pisses my haters off immensely. And it's worth doing it just for that. And I will give you a shout out on tomorrow morning's morning briefing. Okay, guys, take care. Cheers.